Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. We sing these words every year. We paint pictures of a serene stable, clean hay, and a peaceful world welcoming a king. But that is not what happened. The night Jesus was born was not silent, and it certainly wasn't calm. He was born into a world of blood and shadows. He was born under the heel of the most ruthless empire history has ever known, Rome. Look at the world he entered. It was a place of iron boots, heavy taxation, and crucifixions on every hill. The sky was dark with oppression. While we imagine angels singing gently, the Bible hints at a cosmic war raging in the spiritual realm. This is not the fairy tale you grew up with. This is the gritty, dangerous, and untold true story of how the light of the world broke into our darkness. The scandal and the shadow. The story begins in Nazareth, not with celebration, but with scandal. Mary was young, perhaps only 16. In a culture where honor was everything, she was found pregnant before her wedding. Can you imagine the whispers? The pointing fingers in the market? To her neighbors, this wasn't a miracle. It was a disgrace. She walked through the streets carrying the Son of God, yet she bore the shame of an outcast. And Joseph, carpenter, a man of the law, his heart was broken. He had every right to expose her, to leave her to the mob. But in the quiet of his workshop, amidst the dust and turmoil, God spoke. Do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife. He chose to bear the shame with her. Two young people, isolated, misunderstood, standing against the world. But their personal struggle was nothing compared to the political nightmare unfolding in Jerusalem. King Herod the Great sat on the throne. He was a monster, paranoid, cruel, a man who murdered his own family to keep his power. And unknown to Mary and Joseph, a decree from Caesar Augustus was about to force them directly into the path of danger. A census, every man to his own city. For Joseph, that meant a journey to Bethlehem. But look closer. Above the politics of Rome, above the decree of Caesar, a darker shadow was moving. The ancient enemy, the serpent, knew the prophecy. He knew the seed of the woman was coming to crush his head. Satan was watching, waiting. The journey of death. We often picture a pleasant donkey ride across a green meadow. But the journey from Nazareth to Bethlehem was a 90-mile trek through some of the roughest wilderness in Judea. Prompts 19 to 21. They called it the Way of the Patriarchs, but it was a gauntlet of death. Bandits hid in the caves, wolves prowled in the dark, and Mary was 9 months pregnant. Every step was agony. Every jolt of the road sent pain shooting through her body. They slept on the cold, hard ground. They drank from muddy streams. Joseph watched over her at night, clutching his staff, his eyes scanning the darkness for predators, both animal and spiritual. This wasn't a holiday. It was a desperate march for survival. Storms hit them. The wind whipped against them. They were exhausted, dirty, and pushed to the breaking point. And when they finally saw the walls of Bethlehem on the horizon, hope turned into despair. The city was chaos. Thousands of people had flooded in for the census. It was loud, crowded, and aggressive. Joseph, desperate to find shelter for his laboring wife, knocked on door after door. No room. Go away. We are full. The rejection was brutal. No one cared that the Messiah was coming. They only saw a poor couple with no money and a questionable pregnancy.
I am here, Mary. Just try to breathe. It will be over soon.
stable and the dragon. Finally, Mary could go no further. Her labor had begun. In desperation, someone pointed them to the back, to a cave carved into the limestone, a place where animals were kept. There was no bed, only dirty straw. There was no sterile room, only the smell of manure and damp stone. This was the landing zone for the creator of the universe. But while Mary cried out in the pangs of childbirth, the invisible realm was screaming. The book of Revelation, chapter 12, pulls back the curtain on this night. It describes a woman distinct in labor, and a great red dragon standing before her, waiting to devour her child the moment he was born. The silent night was actually a spiritual battlefield. Every demon in hell was focused on that tiny, dirty cave. The tension was suffocating. The fate of humanity hung by a thread. The darkness crept in. The shadows lengthened. But the darkness could not overcome the light. Suddenly, a cry pierced the night. Not a cry of defeat, but a cry of life. He was here. God had skin. In that moment, the power of the dragon was broken. The shadows retreated in terror. The light had arrived, and no power in hell could put it out.
We are undone. Mercy, Lord, mercy.
Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people.
A Savior is born!
In Bethlehem, just as the angel said.
Let's go quickly!
The outcasts and the meaning. Mary, exhausted but triumphant, wrapped him in swaddling clothes, rags used to bind broken limbs. She laid him in a manger, a feeding trough for livestock. The King of Kings, sleeping where the animals ate. It was scandalous. It was shocking. It was perfect. And who was the first to know? Not Herod in his palace. Not the religious leaders in the temple. But shepherds, men who smelled of sheep. Men who were considered unclean outcasts by society. The armies of heaven bypassed the elite to announce the good news to the broken. They ran to the stable, and there, kneeling in the dirt, they found their Savior. This is the untold story. Jesus didn't come to a perfect world. He came to a messy one. He wasn't born in a palace so that only the rich could approach him. He was born in a stable so that anyone could approach him. Conclusion: the light in darkness. The story didn't end with a peaceful morning. Soon, they would have to flee to Egypt to escape Herod's sword. The shadow of the cross was already looming over the manger. But on that night, the impossible happened. God entered our pain. This Christmas, if you feel like you are walking through a dark valley, remember the story. He didn't come for the strong. He came for the weak. He didn't come for the righteous. He came for the sinner. He didn't come to a silent night. He came to your chaotic life. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and share it with someone who needs hope. The dragon has been defeated. The King has come. Subscribe for more biblical truths. May the peace of Christ be with you.